Okay, let me create the master data. How can we create the master data? Material master is the first one, MM01. Enter
Mm.
MM01. The moment you enter MM01, the system will prompt out what is the material number. Let me create a material number FG,
SG5.
FG5. That's good. That is an external numbering. And in the mechanical engineering and the FORT material, we are creating a FORT material. So material type should be FERT, which is finished product. Okay, material number, industry sector, and material type. Press enter. The moment you press enter, system will prompt you to select the views. Because it is FG material, the mandatory views are basic data 1, basic data 2, classification. And we were supposed to sell it. That is why sales arg1, sales arg2, sales general plant data, sales text, MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, and work scheduling view, general plant data 1, accounting 1, accounting 2, costing 1. These are the normal recommended views that one can maintain for a finished material. And continue. If I press continue, the system will prompt you in which organization level, in which plant you want to create this material, at which storage location, at a sales organization, distribution channel. These are the best practices plant and organizational structure. 1710 plant, 171C storage location, or you can enter 171A also. That is also good enough to. And 1710 sales organization, and you can enter the description. Description can be anything, and unit of measure, as you mentioned, it can be pieces, or it can be each, or it can be kg. And material group, select the relevant material group from F4 option. If you press F4, then you can find available material groups, preferably for finished material, the standard SAP best practices L004. Okay, and in the addition, and also better to
Gross
maintain the gross weight and as well as the net
net
weight
rate.
of it. Next thing is, in the additional data, better maintain description, both English as well as German.
German.
How to maintain? DE is the German language code. And continue with the main data, click on main data. Then you are there in basic data too, nothing is mandatory. Continue, you are there in the classification. And if you want, you can assign the class, or otherwise you can continue from there. You can assign the material class, continue. Sales arg1, in the sales arg1, select the tax codes as 0. Available tax codes are no tax as 0 tax. And the
Mm-hmm.
division, if you want, you can maintain as a 00.
Mm-hmm.
This is the standard division. And in sales arg2, maintain the item category. Standard
Yeah.
item category is NORM, NOR. Press enter. In the general plant data, better to maintain transportation group and loading group. Available, you can select one of the available transportation group
Mm-hmm.
and loading group. 0001 is available. You can press F4. Out of that, you can select it. SAP best practices 1. I'm selecting 001 here, and I'm selecting 001 here, which are
Mm.
the available values. Okay, press enter. Then it will take you to the sales general text, sales text. In this, you can maintain any text. Again, here, sales text also better to maintain both in German as well as English. How to maintain German? Go here, press caps D twice, and you can copy from English also. That is easy to maintain. So automatically, same text is maintained both in English as well as German. Now, to continue to the main screen, you can press enter here. Then it will go to the next screen automatically. We are there in MRP1. In MRP1, the mandatory fields are MRP type PD, MRP controller 001, and lot sizing procedure EX. These are the normal mandatory inputs. And procurement type, if you want, because this is a finished material, you can go ahead with X, or you can go ahead with an option called as E. E
E.
stands for in-house.
Internal.
Is in-house or internal, that's right. And if you want, you can maintain the storage location as 171A. Is just because we maintain that storage location 171A. In-house production time and
Ena
GR
Sina.
pass. We maintained 171A in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And scheduling margin key, you can select one of the available scheduling margin key. You can select one. Of course, scheduling margin key, again, there are 4 parameters: float before, float after, opening period, release period. And we are there in MRP3. In MRP3, forecast indicator, maybe by default, it will be M. You can continue with that monthly forecast. And strategy group, you can select one of the available strategy group. Better we go ahead with the strategy 10, standard recommended strategy, make to stock production. If you want to have any specific strategy, you need to select it and assign it here. Okay. And availability check, we can continue with the same availability check for finished material, which is used for sales order level. In MRP4, individual collective requirements, it's not a mandatory. Go ahead with the blank. And production version, we will maintain it later stage, and nothing is mandatory as of now. Press enter to continue from here. In the work scheduling view, production scheduling profile is better to maintain and it is mandatory. I mean better to maintain because it will have certain parameters which are linked to this one. Because it is a discrete manufacturing, I'm using SAP best practices YB0001 and press enter. If you want, you can maintain under delivery, over delivery, which will allow you to do the GR more than the order quantity or less than the order quantity. But if you don't want, you can continue. It's not a mandatory. Okay, we are there in plant storage data one, nothing specific. If it is a process manufacturing, generally we are very particular about the shelf life expiration date, remaining shelf life expiration date. Accounting one, you need to select the valuation class, select the valuation class, available valuation class. 7920 is the SAP best practices recommended valuation class for finished product. And you can give some ad hoc price of say 100 or 200 or whatever it is, just enter some price, press enter, go ahead. In accounting two, nothing is mandatory. In the costing one tab, better to maintain the profit center. Available profit center, you can press F4 and select one. YB110 is the recommended profit center. And you are in the last tab, system will prompt you, hey, do you want to save this? Yes, if you will click on save, then the material will be saved with the material number FG5. You will get a prompt, you will get a message, material created with a FG5 created. That means this material is already created or saved. If you want, you can go and check it up in MM03. MM03 is to display the material. FG5 is the material number. And press enter, press enter. If you see here, 171A, we maintained at 171A because it is a finished product. Take a look of it. You see this is what we created. If you want, you can see all the details here. It is FG5 and the description, and it is the industry sector. This is the material type created by this user ID on so-and-so date and time. Makes sense to you? This is called as additional information or more information, material type, everything that you can say. Of course, it is reflects here, but better to check it to identify which material type that we have been created. This is about the finished product. Now, let me create one raw material event. How to create a raw material? Same MM01. And would like to go ahead with one of the raw material. Let me, before I jump on to the raw material creation, let me check which are the raw materials that are already there in the system. I will go ahead with the next serial number because we are preferred to go ahead with external numbering and preferably in this created by my user ID. If you take ROH 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is there, 6 is also there. Can I go ahead with ROH 7? Okay, let's go ahead with MM01 and ROH 7 is a material number and it is a ROH, which is a material type. Okay, and mechanical engineering. Press enter. Okay, so there is no material number with ROH7. That is why system is allowing you to go ahead with this. And it is a raw material. So for raw materials, B1, B2, CL, basic data 1, basic data 2, classification, and purchasing, purchase order text, better to maintain because we need to buy this material from the external vendor. MRP 1, 2, 3, 4, general plant data, accounting 1, accounting 2, costing 1, costing 2, continue. Or click on this continue or click on organizational level. then the system will prompt you in which plant at which storage location you want to maintain. In the plant 1710 at the storage location 171C, I would like to create this material, and you can give any description, any meaningful description you can give. I will go ahead with a generic description, raw material 7. And it is again base unit of measurement. You can give
Pieces.
any meaningful base unit. I'll go ahead with the pieces, or you want to change it.
Okay.
And L002 is the material group for raw material, unit weight, net weight, gross weight. You need to maintain it preferably. 1 point, specify the material unit weight in kg. Okay, that's right. And additional data, better to maintain the description both in English as well as the German. Continue with the main data, and basic data too, nothing is mandatory. Classification, again, as of now, I'm not maintaining any classification, simply assigned the class type.
Material.
Okay, material class. And purchasing, in the purchasing data, purchasing group, better to maintain. Purchasing group is person or responsible who will be responsible for purchasing activities. And purchasing value key, you can select one of the available purchasing value key. This purchasing value key contains all the parameters like reminder 1, 2, 3, and under delivery, over delivery tolerances. Press enter. You see this values are updated here. Press enter. And purchase order text, similar to the sales order text, you can also maintain purchase order text both in English as well as German. D is for German, and a copy from English also you can use it. Okay, now again from here to jump to the next tab, you please click at here, enter. Then we are there in MRP1, MRP type PD, MRP controller 001, large sizing procedure EX. These are the mandatory fields. Generally, we maintain it. Procurement type by default, because it is a raw material, we are getting a procurement type F. F meaning is external procurement. GR processing time 1 day, plant delivery time 1 day, and scheduling margin key, you can select one of the available scheduling margin keys. Press enter. In the MRP3 for raw material, nothing specific. You need to maintain strategic groups. We are not preferred. I mean, nothing mandatory, and more preferred for SFG and FG material. Availability check. You can go ahead with the daily requirements or individual requirements, whichever is okay. Availability check. This is checking group. MRP4, nothing mandatory here. And go ahead with the plant storage data one. If you want, you can maintain the unit pack, I mean storage location, any specific storage location. If you want, you can maintain it in MRP2A also, you can maintain it. Valuation class, preferably you can select one of the available valuation classes. As per the standard SAP best practices for raw materials, 3000 is the valuation class recommended. And price you can give for whichever is the standard price. It's by default, it is picking it up. Tell give some price and press enter. You can continue. And in the accounting to nothing to specific. In costing one, better to maintain the profit center. And if you want to maintain storage location, you can maintain the storage location in MRP2. 171C is the preferred storage location for raw material. Press enter, press enter, press enter. We are at the last screen of it in costing 2. And the moment you reach the last screen, system will prompt you to save this. Yes, I am ready to save this material. Now ROH7 has been created. So once you have the raw material available, once you have the finished product available, you need to maintain the next master data, which is nothing but BOM. How to create the BOM? CS01 is the transaction code to create the BOM. Go to CS01, and for which material? For finished material. Our finished material is FG5. FG5. And for this, we would like to create a BOM in the plant 1710 with a BOM usage 1, 1 meaning production. I would like to create a BOM which is applicable or relevant for production for the FG7 finished product in the plant 1710. The moment you enter this is the list component list screen or if item overview screen. In this, you can add whichever are the components that you would like to. ROH7 is the one that we created, and how many number of you need to enter only which material is required, how much quantity is required, material number and the quantity is good enough to go. If you have multiple material, you can add all the material required materials here, component materials here in this particular item overview screen. Make sure that I need to produce, in order to produce one piece of my header material, I need one component of this raw material. That is the meaning of base quantity. Please make sure that base quantity of one piece will require, in order to produce one piece of my header material, I need this many number of components. Whatever is there in the item overview, this list of components with that quantities are required. For our simplicity, we are maintaining it only one raw material. I need one component of this in order to produce one piece of this finished material. Is that clear to you? Can I go ahead with the save? Yeah. Now we created the BOM. BOM is also available. What is the next master data after the material master work center? How to create a work center? CR. That's a good answer. CR01 is the work center. Here, again, you need to give the description of the work center, and accordingly, we can go ahead with. If you want to see the list of work centers available, you can go to CR60. List of RCR05 is also good to go ahead. List of work center list, and in the work center category 001, the system will give you the list of work centers which are available in the plant 1710. You see this, these are the list of work centers which are available. So you can give the meaningful description, assembly or assembly 2 or assembly 1, whichever is okay. Can I go ahead with, currently it is assembly is there, assemble is there. Okay, we'll create a work center. How to create a work center? CR01. You need to give the some naming convention, either assembly, assembly 1 or M1 or whatever it is. You can give some meaningful description. Assembly M1 I will, and work center category. You need to select the either we are creating a machine, that is why it is 0001 in the work center category. The moment you enter the name and the category, then the system will pop up to the next detailed screen. In this, there are 5 subtabs are there. In the basic data, person responsible, usage, and standard value key. From where these values are picking it up? From the default work center, which is maintained at the configuration level, they are picking it up. And also it is better to maintain must be entered, where whenever you use this work center, system will prompt you, hey, tell me what is your setup time, machine time, labor time, and of course, machine description. You can give any meaningful description, assembling machine 1 or M1, whatever it is, you can give the description. Okay. And press enter. Of course, in the case of work center, the moment you enter all the details, you need to go to the next tab, means you need to go and click on to that next tab. Automatically in the like material master, by pressing enter, it won't move to the next tab. You need to go and click on to the next tab. In the default values, you need to have a control key, which is a mandatory. In the capacities tab, you need to maintain the capacity category. Say, for example, I want to maintain the capacity category as 001. 001 is for machine, and the setup formula, and 4556. 56 is the, and processing formula, you can maintain it. And if I double click on it, it will take you to the detailed screen. It is machine capacity or resource capacity. I'll put machine capacity, more meaningful. And capacity person responsible, and factory calendar, and capacity unit, start time of the capacity, end time, length of the break, utilization, how it will calculate this available capacity? End time minus start time minus length of
Minus
the break.
break.
17 hours minus 8 hours, which is equal to 9 hours, minus 1 hour break, 8 hours, multiplied by utilization percentage and number of number of machines. So it will give you 8. If I go for 2 capacities, then your capacity will become 16 hours, you say this.
Mm.
If I take only one machine, then it will be 8 hours. This is capacity header data, and go back and again click on scheduling and maintain the capacity category 001, and duration of the setup or processing duration you can maintain as SAP 001, 2. These are the formulas which are used to calculate the duration, process duration or setup duration 001 and processing duration 002. These are the standard SAP formulas. You can use these formulas as it is.
Mm.
And
Mm.
in the costing, you can maintain the cost center. Again, you can press F4 here and you can select the available cost centers in the controlling area A000. If I press F4, system will prompt you, hey, which work center, which cost center you need to use it. In the controlling area A000, in the company code 1710, if you press F4, system will prompt you available cost centers. We selected one among it, which is equal to ending with 301, which is related to the manufacturing cost center. Make sense to you?
Mm.
Okay. And in addition to this activity type, these activity types are maintained in KP26, and you need to assign the right activity type for setup time, machine time, labor time. This is for setup and this is for machine and this is for labor. And activity unit, you can assign the unit as minutes or hours, how much time it takes, you can maintain it. And activity formulas are SAP 001, how will it calculate the setup time, machine time, labor time. This is for setup, this is for machine time, 002, and this is for labor calculation. So these are the important fields that you need to maintain. What are the cost center, activity type, and activity formulas that you need to maintain. And you can save this. The moment you save this, system will prompt you a message. Work center ASSEMB assembly M1 has been created. Take a look of it. You see this work center assembly M1 has been created in the plant. After the work center, see, in the similar lines, you can create any number of work center, which are all the sequence of operations that you need to follow. You need to create the work center before proceeding it to the routing. Is it clear?
Yeah,
Okay. What is the next master data?
routing.
Oh, that's a good answer. Routing. How to create a routing?
CA0.
CA01. So routing generally we create for finished material or semi-finished material, which is nothing but sequence of operations. How can you produce this material? In which machines you need to follow it? So for the header material FG5 in the plant 1710, I would like to create a routing. And here, as of now, the routing will be saved with the group number followed by group counter. We didn't save it. That is why it is a group number is a blank. And usage, make sure that you are using a right usage. Usage should be for production and the status should be for released general, which is
Released.
4. These are the standard usage and statuses which are to be. If the usage and status are incorrect, it cannot be used for further processes. Okay, lot size, you can give any lot size from 1 to 10,000 or 9999. By default, it is coming, it is a 9999. You can go ahead. And this is the header level data. You see this is the header data. What we maintain, what is the usage, what is the status, and what is the lot size. In addition to this, you need to go to the operations tab and you need to maintain the sequence of operations. In our case, we are using only one machine, assembly M1, assemble M1. Let us take a look of it. What is that? Assembly ASSEMB. EM PM1. I think this is the correct. And the system is prompting you, tell me setup time, machine time, labor time. For example, in order to produce one piece of one piece, I need 30 minutes of setup time, 60 minutes of machine time, 60 minutes of labor time. For example, just an example. And once you enter this, and you can mention, if you want, you can mention the description, assembling machine, and the sequence of operations. I'm using only one machine, and and if you want, you can check the consistency, whether every data is maintained it correctly or not. That is called as consistency check. And you can save this. The moment you save this, again, this will be saved with the group number followed by group counter. Take a look of it. I'm saving this one. You see this routing was saved with the group number so and so and the group counter 1. Now you have the routing, you have the BOM. What is the next master data that we need to maintain?
Production version.
Production version. How can you maintain the production version?
Change mode of material master.
That is one way is you can go to the change mode of the material master of the finished material. Go to the good answer. Go to work scheduling view or go to MRP4 view because we are maintaining at 171A. Either the way you can maintain it, either you can jump onto work scheduling view or you can jump onto work MRP4. Okay, in the production, in this tab, work scheduling view, there is option to maintain the production version. As of now, we didn't maintain the production version. That is why there is no tick mark. The moment you maintain the production version, your tick mark will get activated. Meaning of tick mark is the production version is maintained. You can give any version number, V001. You can give any alphabetic, numeric, or any number is okay, but easy to identify V001. You can give some description, valid from date and valid to date. Generally, on the day that you created the work center and routing, at least it should be of this one and the system end date. This is only the header level information. If I double click on it, it will take you to the detailed information. In this detail, you will need to assign it your BOM and routing. Say, for example, for 1000 quantity, how to assign the routing? Select the routing type N. N stands for routing. And you can set it. You need not to remember the routing available. Set using this material. For this material, in this particular plant, which is the routing available, you can set it. Then the system will automatically pulls up, hey, for this material, this is the routing available. And also similarly, you can set the BOM available. System will pull it up. How many BOMs are there? In our case, we have only one BOM. Then the system will pull you. Hey, this is the BOM that is available. So in the production version, we assigned the routing, we assigned the BOM, and make sure that whatever you assigned is having a right lot size, right. This is called as a consistency check. You have a task list exists, you have a BOM exists. That means whatever you have been assigned it, that is good to go. You will get a green traffic light. Meaning of green traffic light is you have assigned the right routing and you have assigned the right BOM and it is having a correct validity from this date to this date. Continue. And the moment you continue it, you will get a version indicator here. Take a look of it. Meaning of version indicator is production version is maintained for this particular material. Take a look. Yeah, you see this indicator and you can save this. Now, as of now, our fundamental logistic master data, material master, bill of material, work center, routing, and production version are maintained. You can see the same thing in MD04 or MM03, wherever you want to. Okay, this is one part of the master data. The next essential master data is you need to go ahead with the costing related information. As of now, this material cost was not updated. If I go to costing 2, you see this just ad hoc price, but it is not updated in the current period. So how can you update the costing view or costing master related master data? So you can go ahead. Of course, there is no here. So what we maintained is this master data, logistic master data. Before we jump on to transactional data, better to maintain costing related master data, which is nothing but you need to maintain the cost estimate. Of course, activity cost is already one-time activity. Generally, FICO team will maintain, and cost estimate and standard cost you can execute it. How to execute the cost estimate? CK24 is cost estimate for the finished material. Sorry, CK11N. I'm sorry. CK11N is cost estimate for this finished material in the plant 1710 with the costing variant. Standard SAP best practices costing variant is PPC1, and for casting layer size of one piece. In order to produce one piece of this material, what is my cost? Click on default values, and you can change it to the current date. This one, preferably you can change to the current date, whatever is the current date, today's date, and this is the system end date. Again, make sure that structured quantity structure date is also the current date. You can select the current date, and also this one is also current date. Now we entered in the dates. Please make sure that this is the current date, costing date from valid up to 99.99, structure date and valuation date is current date. In the quantity structure, if you have multiple versions, you can assign the version. If you have only one version, you need not to assign it. You can continue even to. But we have only one version, we can assign it, nothing wrong. Press enter. So in the costing data, dates tab and quantity structure, once you press enter, then the system will pull it out to the production version related to this material, and which materials are required, which activities are required, everything that you can see it from here. You see this, I need one raw material, the cost of one raw material, cost is, it has been taken here. And activities cost, setup time, machine time, labor time. Setup time is equal to 30 minutes. Machine time is equal to 1 hour. Labor time is equal to 1 hour. Everything has been calculated. Is it clear to you? And you can save the cost estimate. Once the cost estimate has been saved, the next step is you need to release this using CK24 markup and release. And in which period? In the month of February 2024 for the company code 1710, plant 1710, and the material is FG5. This is our material. And make sure that your marking allowance for the company code 1710 is green. Okay. And if you want, you can execute in the test mode, or if you don't want, you can directly. But if you want to update your database, you need to remove the test run. You need to execute it. Okay, one materials of cost estimate was updated successfully. If you see this, the cost estimate, you can see the value, actual value, and you can save it, or you can go back. And after the, now as of now, it is in the markup, you need to release it. There are two steps involved in it. One is the markup, the other is release. If I release it, now we are in the released mode, and execute it again. Make sure that no test run is activated. Now you see this one material of cost estimate was updated successfully, and you can save it. Now, if I go and check it up my material master, if I go and check it up my material master, it will get updated with this price. What is that? 172.50 mm03 or whatever it is. Where I can see this in it is 171A. You are right. In the costing 2, you can see this material cost estimate was updated. Cost was updated with the actual price of it. You see this, and it is for the current period, which is equal to February of 2024. With this, our logistic master data is good, and also our costing related master data is also good enough. And now we can proceed to the next step. Next step, what is that next step? You can go for planning data, transactional data, or you can go for planning. What is the transactional data we need to? We need to go ahead with creation of independent requirements.